Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, and today is AMI Day 16. So I have no announcements for today, so I'll go ahead and get started. So as always, we'll start with the math part of your AMI work for today. So today is AMI Day 16, and so for math, you have your three options. Option one is to complete the attached skill review sheet. So the attached worksheet for today is reviewing adding decimals. So if you choose to do option one, you'll do that worksheet. If you choose to do option two, you'll log on to iStation Math and work for 30 minutes. You can do iStation Math, ST Math, Freckle Math, Prodigy, Extra Math, any of those things. Log on there and work for 30 minutes, and I'll get an email report about the time that you spend on those. Or if you don't want to do option one or option two, you can choose to do option three, which is to go to the PDF link and choose a video according to your age or grade. So you'll go to that PDF link, click filter by, and do 5 for 5th grade and watch any of those videos. And then it also says today, as part of option 3, or watch grade level appropriate shows on the PBS television station. So if you have PBS on your television, you can go on your television and watch the grade appropriate shows for 5th grade. And it says do one math activity from the attached PBS packet. So attached to, if you have a physical copy of your AMI packet for this week, attached to that is the PBS packet. So you can choose to do a math activity from that PBS part of your packet, but that's only if you choose to do option 3. So for math, we're going to go ahead and review your option 1 worksheet, which is adding decimals. So let me open that up and share it with you guys. I opened it on a separate screen so that I could make it bigger, and then I lost it. There it is. I'll go ahead and zoom in on it. Okay, so here is the attached math worksheet for today, and it is adding decimals. So we were learning about that before all of this. We were learning about this in class, adding decimals. So then it gives you some examples. It says write the answers between the lines. So it gives you $5.25 plus $2.40. And all you do, when you add or subtract decimals, you line up the decimal points, and then you just add the numbers together. So let's look at this first problem it gives you. $2.25 plus $4.50. So when you add or subtract with decimals, you line up the decimal points. That's the key part of what I want you to know about adding decimals. When you add or subtract decimals, you line up the decimal points. So we have $2.25, and this just happens to be asking you to add money, and $4.50, and it wants you to add it together. So I'm going to switch over to me. So what I did was I lined up those decimal points, and I'm going to make them a little bigger so you can see. I lined up my decimal points so that my place values are lined up, because when you line up the decimal points, your place values are lined up. So all I did was I started by writing out my problem, lining up my decimal points. And then all you have to do is add like normal. So 5 plus 0 is 5. And then you have 2 plus 5, so 5, 6, 7. So 2 plus 5 is 7. And then I just all I'm going to do is bring down my decimal point. So I just brought my decimal point straight down, and then next I'm going to add 2 plus 4. So 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my answer, if we add it together, $2.25 plus $4.50, the answer to that first problem is $6.75. And all I did, I put the dollar sign because it said we were adding money together. So all you do to add decimals together is when you stack your problem like this, line up those decimal points so all your place values are lined up. When you add or subtract with decimals, line up the decimal point. So you just line up your decimal points and then add like normal. So the answer to your first one was 6.75. Okay, I'll do one more example. So the next problem on that was $7.50. 7, and I'll make my decimal points really big so you can see them, plus $2.25. We're going to add those together. I'll put my dollar sign so we know that it's money. So I just lined up my decimal points, lined up my numbers, and we're adding. So when we're adding, we can do 0 plus 5. So 0 plus 5 is going to be 5. But remember, if we were subtracting, we wouldn't be able to do that. We'd have to borrow. But we're adding, so we can do 0 plus 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. And then we have 5 plus 2, so 5, 6, 7. And then we just bring our decimal point straight down. And then we have 7 plus 2. So 7, 8, 9. And then I'll put my little dollar sign. So $7.50 plus $2.25 gives you the answer of $9.75. So 9.75 is your answer to that one. So all you're going to do for that worksheet is line up your decimal points and add like normal. And then it gives you 2 word problems on the bottom. Both of those word problems are addition. So you're just going to add the 2 numbers in your word problem together. Simple as that. Line up those decimal points when you add or subtract with decimals. And so that is your math worksheet for option 1 today. So if you choose to do option 1, you're just going to do that worksheet and add those decimals together, and that's all you have to do. So that's if you choose to do option 1. Okay, and then for reading, you have 4 options for reading that you can choose from. Option 1 is read a book of your choice for 30 minutes. All you have to do is read that book for 30 minutes, write down the title, the number of pages that you read, and then that paragraph summary about what you read. If you don't want to read for 30 minutes, you can choose a different option. Option 2 is to log on to iStation Reading and work for 30 minutes. You can do iStation Reading for 30 minutes, or you can do Freckle ELA, or you can do Spelling City. And once again, if you need any of your passwords for any of those things, message me and let me know, and I can get you the passwords or the class codes for those things. So option 2 would be to do iStation Reading, or you could do Freckle ELA or Spelling City, and you do that for 30 minutes. If you choose to do option 3, you're going to read the attached passage and answer the questions about making inferences. So attached to your AMI work for day 16 is that reading passage. So all you're going to do is read it and answer those questions, and we will look at it together. Let me go ahead and scroll down and find it. There it is, and I'll share it with you guys. Okay, so we have making inferences to interpret fiction. So it says on here, let me see if I can zoom in. I sure can. So it says here at the top, when you use clues and reasoning to figure out what is going on in a story, especially something that is not explicitly stated, you are making an inference. So it gives you an example. So in the scene it says, the bats flew from the farm and across the dim field of corn. So the bats flew from the farm and across the dim field of corn. So the inference you could make was that bats usually come out at night, so it is probably nighttime. So you're kind of using what you know about bats and what you read from that scene to make an inference. Okay, so the directions, read the scenes below and use the clues to answer the questions that follow. So then it gives you this little paragraph right here. A cold wind howled, bending barren trees like skeletons in the moonlight. A flurry of snowflakes skittered through the air, catching the wind before landing on frozen rooftops. Inside her room, Penelope lay quietly, clutching her warm blankets as she listened to the sounds of the approaching storm. Beside her, Norma purred gently and curled into a soft ball of fur. Although her window pane rattled, Penelope felt safe and cozy in her bed. So it's gonna, that was your little scene, and then it asks you these 4 questions. What time of day is it? So what can you infer is the time of day? So is it morning, afternoon, or night? So what can you infer from reading that little passage? What season is it? A, winter, B, spring, C, summer, or D, fall. So what can you guess or infer? You're making an educated guess when you infer. You're using what you know from the passage to answer the question. So what season is it? winter, spring, summer, or fall. Okay. 3, what does the word skittered mean? So based on how it is used in this passage, what does the word skittered mean? So the sentence where that was, it says, a flurry of snowflakes skittered through the air. So does skittered mean A, walked, B, moved quickly, or C, moved slowly? And then 4, who is Norma? A teddy bear, B, a cat, C, a child, or D, a dog. So it told us that Norma purred gently and curled into a soft ball of fur. So is Norma a teddy bear, a cat, a child, or a dog? So all you're going to do, and it gives you a few more to read. So then you have a little passage about Michael. So you're going to read that and answer the questions about that. And then it says using context clues in the 2 stories above, determine the meaning of the homophones. So you have homophones, pain and pain. So P-A-N-E was in our first story. And then P-A-I-N is going to be in the story, like pain, like you hurt your arm. It's going to be in the story about Michael. So using the context clues, what do those words mean? What does pain, P-A-N-E mean? And what does pain, P-A-I-N mean? And then it says, how do these 2 similar lines help set up a different feeling for the 2 scenes described above? Clutching her warm blankets. So if you're imagining her clutching her warm blankets, what do you feel when you read that? Is she trying to stay warm? Is she cozy? What does that line make you feel? And then you have clutching his injured arm. So he's like holding on to his injured arm. So how does that line set up how you feel about that story? Is it cozy? Is it painful? How does it make you feel there? So that's if you choose to do that option. I believe that was option 3. Let me get back to the directions. Okay, so yeah, that was option 3 for reading. You can read those passages and make those inferences. Or if you don't want to do option 3, you could also choose from option 4. Option 4 is to go to that PBS link, and it'll take you to the link listed under reading will take you to the language arts section. You just pick a video to watch. You filter it to 5 for 5th grade. You pick a video to watch, and you do whatever the video asks you to do. Or it also says today you can watch a grade level appropriate show on the PBS television station. So if you happen to have that television station, that is an option now, is to watch one of those programs on your television. Or you can do one literacy activity from the attached PBS packet. So when you get your physical packets now, they're going to seem a little bit bigger. That's just because they've attached the PBS packets as well, so that you could choose to do that if you wanted to do option 4. It's just giving you some more variety and extra options to choose from for your AMI work. So those are your 4 options for reading. And then we have writing. So it says writing, choose 1 prompt, and it's giving you 3 options, 3 prompts to choose from that you could do for writing today. Option 1 would be to write an entry in your coronavirus pandemic journal if you started one of those last week. So all you would do today would be for your heading for your journal entry today, it'd be Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. And you just write a journal entry about what you're doing today. How do you feel about being social distanced today? What are you doing at home? How do you feel about your AMI work? What do you miss about the way things were before all of this? Or what are you enjoying now? So just write a journal entry if you started one of those coronavirus pandemic journals, or if you want to start one today for the first time. For your entry, you'd put Tuesday, April 14th, 2020, and then just write about what you're going through today. How do you feel? What are you thinking? What are you doing? Just think about all those things and write a journal entry. Or if you don't want to do option 1, option 2 is to start or continue to work on a story or essay of your choice. Set a timer and sit in a quiet spot for 20 to 30 minutes while you work on your writing. This may be an ongoing story or essay. You may choose to continue working on it for several days, or you may write a draft and move on. So here's kind of fun. You just set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes, and you just sit down and write. You can make up a story. You can write a fairy tale. You can write an action story. You can draw a comic book. I know that some of you like to do that. You can create a comic book. So you just start or continue a story that you've started writing, or maybe you're not finished with one of your essays from the other AMI days. You can sit and work on that essay and finish that. So that's just something that you choose what you write. You get to write a story or continue working on an essay. That's just setting some time aside to just sit down and write. Create your own story or finish something that you've already started working on. So that's a little something you can have a little bit of fun with. Option 3 is also a little bit of fun. It says option 3, use the following prompt to draft a fun fiction story. So it's going to set you up with a prompt to help you write a fun fiction story. So your prompt today says, you have received a mysterious package from a friend. Inside is a very unusual egg. Write a story about what happens next. What does the egg look like? Does the egg hatch? And what is inside? So you're going to use that prompt to write a fiction story. So someone's giving you a mysterious egg. Does it hatch? What's inside it? So kind of have fun with it. Make up a story about what's inside that egg, what happens when it hatches, kind of have fun with it. So that's if you choose to do option 3. Option 4 is to go to that PBS link. And when you go to that link for writing, it's going to also take you to the language arts section. And once again, you filter it to 5 for 5th grade and watch any of those videos and just do what the video asks you to do. And then we have, after writing, we have our science for today. So it gives you, let me find the instructions for science. I lost them. Okay, so for science, they give you a little science worksheet, and this one is about the 3 states of matter. And I'll share my screen with you so we can look at it together. So your science worksheet for today is about the 3 states of matter. So it gives you this little article about the 3 states of matter. So it says, let's take a walk into an imaginary kitchen. There are ice cubes in the freezer, water running from the faucet, and steam rising from a pot of boiling water. We will turn off our pretend faucet so we don't waste water. What do these 3 things all have in common? So you're just going to read this little article about the 3 states of matter, and it's going to talk about all 3 states of matter. And then after you've read it, let me scroll down, it's just going to give you some questions to answer. So it says, question 1, atoms that are joined together are called A, liquids, B, molecules, C, shapes, or D, solids. Question 2, what shape is a liquid? A sphere, B, circle, C, solid shape, or D, the shape of its container. And all these answers come from the article that you're going to read. And so question 3, what happens to water when it evaporates? A, it turns into a solid, B, it turns into a gas, C, it turns into an atom, or D, it disappears. Question 4, what causes water to evaporate? A, warm temperatures, B, cold temperatures, C, electricity, or D, food coloring. And question 5, how are molecules in a solid different from molecules in a liquid? A, molecules in a liquid are more tightly packed than molecules in a solid. B, molecules in a liquid cannot move, but molecules in a solid can. C, molecules in a solid are more tightly packed than molecules in a liquid. Or D, molecules are loosely packed and easily turn into steam. And then your last question is question 6. List 2 examples of solids, liquids, and gases. So what are some examples of solids? What are some examples of liquids? So you can think of like water or juice are liquids. And what are some examples of gases? So you can think of like steam and things like that. So list 2 examples of each. So you're going to list 2 solids, 2 liquids, and 2 gases. And that is your science worksheet for today. So you're just going to read that little article about the states of matter and answer those multiple choice questions. And then on question 6, you just give 3 examples of a solid, 3 examples of a liquid, and 3 examples of a gas. And that will be your science worksheet for today. And then as always, you end your AMI day work with your specialty activities that you can choose from. So for PE today, if you choose to do PE today, it gives you some little activities that you can do. So one of those activities is disc golf. So it says you will need a flying disc or other tossable items. So if you have like a frisbee or a flying disc, anything like that, and you'll play this game in your backyard or in your yard outside. So it's going to explain all players begin at the same spot. Choose something in the area like a tree. This will be hole number 1. So if you're standing in your front yard, you may point out to a tree out in the distance and say that that's going to be hole number 1. So to play, here's how you play disc golf. The object is to throw your disc to the target in as few throws as possible. So it's kind of like playing regular golf or putt-putt, except you're using like a frisbee. The youngest player is first. After all have tossed, the person who is farthest away from the target throws next. Count how many throws it takes to reach the target. Choose another object and begin again on hole number 2. So say if you picked a tree out in your yard as hole number 1, now you may turn and say, oh, that bush over there is hole number 2. So you want to have the least amount of throws to get to that object. So it's just like regular golf, except you're playing it with like a frisbee or something that you throw. Continue for 9 holes. So you're going to have 9 objects and 9 holes. Final score is the total number of throws plus your age. So your final score is the total number of throws. So how many times did you throw to get to each hole plus your age. So that's if you choose to do PE today, you're going to play disc golf. If you choose to do music today, today for music it's about concert etiquette for choir, orchestra, and band concerts. So it talks a little bit about choir etiquette. It says rule number 1 for choir etiquette is to listen and pay attention. So then it gives you some multiple choice questions. It says circle the correct answer. So number 1, you get a phone call during the performance. What do you do? A, do you answer the phone and talk as quietly as you can? Or B, ignore the call and go outside when the music stops if you need to return the call. So you're thinking about rule number 1 of concert etiquette, which is listen and pay attention. So which of those answers means that you are listening and paying attention? Do you answer the call and talk quietly, or do you ignore the call and go outside when the music stops to return the call? And then question 2, you want to talk to the person next to you. What do you do? A, wait until the music stops, or B, whisper if the music is playing. So if we're listening and paying attention, are we waiting until the music stops to talk to the person next to us, or are we whispering during the music? So which one is the best concert etiquette? So you'll just answer those 2 multiple choice questions if you choose to do music, or you could also choose to do art. So for art today, it says use the materials you have at home to create the following picture. So then it gives you some options of YouTube videos that you can watch to learn how to draw a picture. So one of them is a video by a children's book author, Mo Willems, and he's going to teach you how to draw something. So all you'll do is watch that video and you can kind of follow along and draw that picture as well. Or it gives you option 2 and it gives you another picture that you can follow along and draw. So if you choose to do art, you'll just choose one of those YouTube videos to watch and you'll just draw along with the artist to learn how to draw the picture that they are creating. So those are your specialty activity options today. And this is a review of your and some instructions for your AMI work that you have today. If you have any extra questions or need any extra help, just message me on Google Classroom, Class Dojo, Remind. You can message me in any of those places and let me know what you need help with, and I will gladly help you. If you need passwords for anything, just message me and let me know. If you have any questions, need help with anything, please, please, please contact me because I'm here to help you. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember, Miss McGee loves you, and I miss you guys so much. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps, and I hope you have a great day.